Good day, Sir Doc Abante. Good day, classmates. Today, I will be presenting about the economic and societal impact of e-commerce in the Philippines. The scope of my presentation are as follows: defining e-commerce, current state of e-commerce in the Philippines, trends and issues of e-commerce in the Philippines, and challenges of getting online for the business owner perspective. First, let us have a review of what e-commerce is. E-commerce refers to the companies and individuals that buy and sell goods and services and transmitting funds or data over the internet. This is the sale or purchase of goods and services, whether for businesses, households, individuals, government, and other public or private organization, conducted over computer-mediated networks. Further, the goods and services are ordered over those networks, but the payment and ultimate delivery may be conducted on or offline. For the current state of e-commerce in the Philippines, industries have undergone accelerated development due to the country's interest in digitalization, and one industry that has benefited is the e-commerce sector, which has grown significantly during the pandemic. Latest data from the Philippine Statistics Authority revealed that the value of digital economy went up to 1.87 trillion pesos in 2021, contributing 9.6% to the country's gross domestic product. Digital economy includes digital banking, e-commerce, virtual education, smartphone apps, and collaboration platforms. E-commerce contributed 17.6% on the overall digital value. With this, the e-commerce in the country is exponentially growing, especially given the continued government support and the emergence of micro, small, and medium enterprises on digital platforms. Meanwhile, being a consumer-driven economy, Philippine e-commerce remains one of the most promising markets globally. According to a recent eMarketer report, the Philippines is the fastest growing country in terms of online retail sales growth with 25.9% growth in 2022. As for the government intervention, in January 2021, the DTI launched the e-commerce roadmap 2020 to 2022, which should have been launched the previous year. Through the roadmap, the DTI hopes to make e-commerce easy and accessible to online sellers and shoppers through market access, digitalization, and logistics integration. Also, the current administration is bent on working on and enhancing this agenda to increase the contribution of e-commerce to the Philippine economy with the ongoing development of the e-commerce Philippines 2023 to 2025 roadmap. Now, let's take a look at the e-commerce consumer behavior. In terms of digital marketing and social media, Filipinos are prolific social media users and actively use platforms for a whopping 10 hours per day, 7 days a week. The best platforms to reach Filipino consumers are Facebook with 67 million active users, YouTube with 58.5 million active users, Instagram with 14 million active users, Twitter with 9.3 million users, and LinkedIn with 9.2 million users. Consumer activity is mostly high during major buying holidays where top e-commerce platforms organize double-digit monthly promotions and mega campaigns such as Platform Birthday, Mid-Year, 9/9, 11/11, and 12/12 events. E-commerce platforms also offer campaign packages for participating retail companies. Likewise, mobile e-commerce is increasing in 2022 as Philippine telecommunication companies recorded 159 million mobile subscribers. The Philippines is the fastest growing app market in Southeast Asia. For paying online, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas recorded 20.1 digital payments from financial transactions in 2020, a 61% increase from 2019. The BSP aims to bank 70% of Filipino adults by 2023. For trends and issues of e-commerce in the Philippines, first one in the year 2000, Republic Act 8792 or the Electronic Commerce Act was passed into law in the Philippines. During that time, only 2% of the country's total population were connected to the internet. Next, data shows that from 2013 to 2015, despite technological development and increase in internet penetration, the average proportion of firms utilizing e-commerce in the country has remained low. The 2014 annual survey of the Philippine Business and Industry revealed that only 400 out of 220,000 establishments in the country have e-commerce sales. To help foster the growth of the economy, the DTI in 2016 developed the Philippine e-commerce roadmap of 2016 to 2020, targeting to expand the share of e-commerce to GDP from 10% in 2015 to 25% by 2020. The country's micro, small, and medium enterprises are those targeted to benefit the most by adapting e-commerce. By 2019, the number of business enterprises in the country increased to 1,506,000 and 99.5% of them are micro, small, and medium enterprises. However, e-commerce still did not prosper much during this period. According to a midterm assessment of the roadmap, lack of support from other government agencies, and the absence of official industry data were some of the issues that hampered e-commerce growth in the country. Nevertheless, the year 2020 proved to be pivotal for e-commerce in many countries, including the Philippines. Lockdown measures during the pandemic have driven buyers who are unable or do not want to go outside to online channels, and e-commerce has been the only option for many physical stores to sell their products. In April 2020, during the country's lockdown, the mobility was down by 90%, causing sharp spike in online transactions. During that time, 91% of Filipino internet users search for goods and services online, and 76% of them consummated the transaction. In January 2021, the DTI launched the e-commerce roadmap 2020 to 2022. The new roadmap focuses on educating online retailers on the values of speed, security, and structure, which DTI believes should equate to sales. In the same year, the Philippines e-commerce market sales reached $17 billion, largely contributed by 73 million online active users. The COVID-19 pandemic increased the e-commerce demand, with Filipinos working and studying from home. The top Philippine e-commerce platforms are Shopee, Lazada, Zalora, and Beauty MNL. Products from Asia-Pacific markets with free trade agreements with the Philippines are sold on these platforms, and the top product categories include beauty, electronics, fashion, furniture, health, and household care. The working population, or those who age 25 to 44, actively access these platforms from their desktop and mobile phones. Despite already having an environment conducive to market growth, The e-commerce ecosystem in the Philippines is still evolving through the diversification of marketplaces available to both sellers and buyers. Early 2022 saw a shift in the Philippine e-commerce landscape as the industry became more inclusive and accessible for smaller players operating independently and outside of e-commerce conglomerates like Shopee and Lazada. So, excluding digital advertising costs and platform fees for big e-commerce platforms, smaller businesses that wish to enter the e-commerce space now face fewer barriers because of the emergence of Facebook Marketplace, Instagram Shops, Shopify, CocoArt, and other alternative online marketplaces. This migration of e-commerce to social media platforms provides several advantages, namely, first, a direct-to-consumer dynamic wherein sellers eliminate middlemen. Second, social platforms allowing for a new medium of customer engagement. And lastly, being virtually costless to advertise products on social media marketplaces. Such benefits will entice interested parties to explore social commerce in the future, thus helping to expand the Philippine e-commerce economy. This topic is the challenges of getting online in the Philippines. So this is on the perspective of the business owners who are trying to get into the e-commerce. So, although e-commerce is relatively easier to navigate than an actual business, business owners still experience unique challenges compared to brick and mortar shop owners. First, and seems to be a perennial problem in the Philippines, is the slow internet connection. The country has the lowest internet speed among the Southeast Asian countries with 3.6 Mbps and ranked 50th among 55 countries. Because of this, investors and international entrepreneurs seems to overlook the country as a good spot to develop e-commerce industry. In connection with this, the lack of actions among government leaders to improve technology and online industries of the country are also hurdles e-commerce progress. So in connection to the issue of internet speed, telecom companies and the government keeps blaming each other. The government blames telecom companies for prioritizing profit over quality of products, while telecom companies blame the government for red tape that hinders improvements of infrastructures and improvements that can increase internet speed. Another challenge that the country is facing is the scarcity of talents. Although Filipino IT and online professionals are some of the best in the field, they are forced to fly out of the country to seek better opportunities, not only to earn but also to harness their talents. With underdeveloped equipment and infrastructure and terrible internet, it is difficult for local and foreign professionals to work and operate e-commerce business in the country. On the other hand, the e-commerce space has become so saturated that standing out from other e-commerce businesses is challenging. Business owners have to keep up with competitive pricing, products and services, all competing for target customer. Business owners also have logistical concerns. The Philippines is an archipelago with more than 7,000 islands. Thus, it is a challenge to deliver goods and services outside of Metro Manila. Businesses need to rely on cross-border shipping partners for last-mile delivery of packages, and this may seem additional delivery or shipping fees. Aside from transport issues, businesses have to invest in warehouses, inventory carrying, and logistics administration. And lastly, gaining the trust of buyers is a challenge for any online merchant. To counter this, there is a need to use a combination of strategies that include, among others, prompt delivery, offering alternative payment options, and providing accurate product descriptions. Also, the public is concerned about data privacy and information theft. That ends my presentation. The continuation of Chapter 10 will be reported by Mr. Mardan Janela. So that's all for me. Thank you and good day.